Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today we have two interesting accessories from Nearity. Now, Nearity was featured on this channel a while back when I took a look at their stand-up web camera, and it was pretty good. There were a couple things that I was hoping that they would improve, and they have reached out to me again to take a look at this conference system setup. So before I continue, I want to make it perfectly clear that these two products were provided to me by Nearity, and these were not personally purchased, so they were provided by the company for the production of this review. I'm not being financially compensated. As always, my opinions on any device I feature on this channel will remain my own. Now, this is going to be split into two videos, so if you are looking to watch the Nearity speaker video, then stay where you are. And if you are looking for the camera video, then I'm going to encourage you to click. The conference speaker that we have here is the A20S, and this retails for approximately around $399 from what I found on the website. I'm taking these prices from the website as well as Amazon to try to get you kind of the average of what they retail for. So a lot of interesting features, but we'll quickly open the box and take a look at the contents. We have a very small and short user manual. We have a USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable. We have one part of a power supply, and then we have a second part of the power supply. And then we have the actual speaker itself. And then it looks like there's a little box in the bottom that contains a Ethernet cable. Now you might say, well, what's the Ethernet cable for? And the Ethernet cable is actually for one of the functionalities of the speaker, and that is that you can daisy chain multiples of these speakers together, and you can see on the bottom there how you would do it. And what this allows you to do is have multiples of these on a conference table, all synchronized to one another to provide high quality, not only audio, but also sound capture. So if you're using these in a very large kind of boardroom location, having all of these being able to connect to one another would be very, very convenient. Now, some of the other features is that we have 8 microphones positioned all the way around this thing, and a 5-watt speaker in the middle. It does also sport AI noise reduction, which is pretty standard for most conference room speakers of this price point. If you are curious, by the way, you can daisy chain up to 6 of these speakers together, which in my mind is kind of excessive, but hey, if you've got a really big table and you want a pretty clean looking solution, this might be the option for you. So, the only other things that we have on the bottom here is obviously a place to plug in the power. And then for plugging this into the computer, we have the USB Type-C cable hanging out under there. Now, the cable channels on this aren't exactly what I would call generous. So that'll be something interesting to see, is how well does this look and lie flat. The only other thing that I could think of is that if you were strategically positioning this thing over a cable run or a hole in the table, you could certainly hide all of that. I don't have one of those, so we'll just be seeing what this all looks like. So let's launch right into the testing. Okay, so we have all of our cables plugged in, and we've got a series of bright lights there. And they've all turned a different color, probably to indicate that this thing is working properly. So let's do a few tests. I do have my sound meter here. Now, interesting, it does red for mute, and like this is nice. Like this feels good. It's very, very responsive. I don't have a phone call going on right now. But if I did, I'm pretty confident that it would hang up properly. All right, let's test some music. Okay, so music on full blast can reach well over 90 decibels, but it's a 5-watt speaker and it's not amazingly good. Uh, that being said, though, this is designed for audio, but I always like to see how it can handle music, especially with something that's got a lot of different pieces. Now, the other thing that we obviously need to test is the noise cancellation ability of that microphone. There is a very small amount of ambient noise, as you can see by the meter there. However, it shouldn't be anything too significant. So up until this point, I've been using the lapel microphone for my camera, but let's see how we fare using the echo noise cancellation of the speaker mic that's built into this one. Okay, so I have currently switched over to the audio from the microphone right here, and I am about 2 feet away, so not very, very far at all. And I'm going to unclip my lapel microphone so I can move further back, and we will test this at 5 feet. So this is approximately 5 feet away. If I was at a table, this is probably the maximum distance that I would realistically expect to be away from one of these things and still heard. However, we're here to test and break stuff, so let's go literally as far back as I can go, which is about 15 feet. So I'm about 15 feet back now, and I'm standing next to a rack-mounted server running elsewhere on this floor. And I can see, even from a great distance, that I am picking up some audio, and when we play it back, we'll hear the quality that we're getting. Overall, if so long as this audio quality is good, clear, and acceptable, and the hum of the server isn't overbearing, it's definitely seems to be doing what it says on the tin, and it is very, very functional. So let's have a little bit of fun and play that back through the speaker. So I have currently switched over to the audio from the microphone right here, and I am about 2 feet away, so not very, very far at all. So the last thing to look at is the NearSync application that is used to manage all these devices. And in the case of the A20S, it doesn't give a whole lot of information other than an opportunity to update the firmware, which is nice, but there is no specific features beyond that that are unique in this application. I did have a few instances where the application would actually freeze and not respond for a moment or two, so I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but hopefully it's not something that's experienced consistently. So overall, this thing pretty much does everything that you would expect a speaker to do. It's loud, good quality, microphones work well at great distances, background noise doesn't seem to be an issue. So if you are looking for a solution that does this, I'll leave some links in the description down below. It is certainly something that you are buying at a price point, so you do need to be aware of that. This is not an extreme budget device. There is a little bit of money that you're going to have to put up front for the functionality that you see here. If you do have any questions, make sure you're leaving them in the comment section down below, and feel free to check out that camera that they sent me as well. I'll leave links available for that video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.